Martin has a longtime e-commerce store owner. He has run multiple companies. He wrote the book on e-commerce. He has a mastermind, which I'm really hoping I get to attend at the end of September. He's a man of many talents. He also runs Trust Ads, right, which is a way to automate your Facebook ads. He's going to get into all of that and a lot more. I want you guys to really give close attention to this presentation, because I absolutely hate knowing that you're about to throw money away on Facebook ads. And if Martin can save you just a little bit of money anywhere, this is, any of these presentations can save you money anywhere. This is going to be the slide deck, because everyone here has their finger on a button, and we're about to find out that you should not hit that button yet. And here's the things you have to do beforehand. So I'll let Martin take it away and get right into it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me. Derek, thank you so much for that introduction, and we'll talk about the luxury event at the end of September. No worries. So this is a brand new presentation. I literally put it together for today. This is the first time it's been given, and it's probably the first presentation I've ever given where it's like, whoa, don't spend money, at least not yet. But I think it's really, really important, and I'm going through the creation of a brand new brand at the moment, and we're doing just that, right? We're getting all of these fundamentals in place, ready for the launch of the brand. Until these fundamentals are in place, we recognize that if we start spending money on advertising, there's going to be missing pieces. Money's going to be falling through the cracks, and it's not the best use of that money. Okay, and so absolutely, I want you to scale up massively, really, really big. But these fundamentals absolutely have to be in place. Otherwise, you're going to lose money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my video, and then we're going to get started. I see lots and lots of people actually participating in this webinar. Can you just let me know you're around? Just sting something in the chat. Just sting a 1 in the chat. Just let me know that you're here, you're listening, you can hear stuff. And I'm not actually speaking to an empty room. We're getting, good. We've got loads and loads of stuff in. Yo, everybody, brilliant. Okay, right, let's jump in, because we've got half an hour, and we're going to make this half an hour super valuable. Right, so introduction, right. So the information, as I said, the information shared in this short presentation is going to save you thousands in wasted advertising revenue. I'm not exaggerating. Literally, these things will save you a lot of money, right? And I've got resources to share with you throughout, because this is a very, very fast training, right? 30 minutes. I'm at the Kosh here. Normally training's twice as long, right? So what I'm going to have to do is give you loads and loads of links and resources and all that good stuff, so that you can continue the learning even after the 30 minutes are up. And if you stay till the end, I'm going to give you a free gift, and that's worth it as well, right? So full disclosure, 30 minutes isn't enough time, but we're still going to cover a lot. So make sure you take notes and screenshots, as it'll be like drinking out of a fire hose on this particular presentation. I'm actually going to give you a free copy of my 300+ page e-commerce book at the end. So pay attention as well to this icon, right? I'm going to throw this icon onto some of the slides, and that is your cue to screenshot your screen, right? So you're taking notes as well, I hope. But if you know how to screenshot, print screen, if you're on Windows, screenshot the screen, and then you can refer back to these the slides, which have a lot of information on them, okay? And that way I can cruise through nice and quick, and you can refer to them later. So in case you're wondering who I am, I know Derek gave me an awesome introduction. I really, really appreciate that. But I throw this slide in just so that you know that you're not actually listening to someone that hasn't been there, hasn't done it, but can talk a good game, like a lot of people in your newsfeed right now. So that's me, looking a little bit ropey, because I think I was pretty jet lagged. I'd been into about 4 countries speaking in about a week, and so that was the last one. But prior to this point, I've built and scaled and exited multiple 6- and 7-figure e-commerce stores. I've coached thousands of students on advertising, e-com, and entrepreneurship across 38 different countries. I've spoken from stages across multiple continents. I've personally spent more than $5 million on Facebook advertising alone. And my company, TrustAds.io, has managed over $100 million in advertising spend, which is a lot of data. Okay, so hopefully that's going to help for you.
Really quick here, Martin. Some people are saying they can see it perfectly, but other people are saying they've got a blank screen. Guys, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Maybe just
quite sure how to troubleshoot that one.
Reshare your screen really quick and see if that solves the issue.
Right. Let's see if I can
exit, go back in. I can see it fine myself. So guys, I don't know exactly what this issue is maybe resizing your Zoom browser or something like
looks
that.
good. Looks
Might
good.
also
Yeah, I can see
here.
it.
Yeah, I've got like a literal 50-50 mix. Dark screen, I can see it. I'm good. Can't.
Right. Let me see if I come out of this, and then I'm going to share my screen just for that 50% because we want 100% here.
Yeah.
So it's on my desktop one. Let's share that screen. Is that sharing?
I can see the screen, absolutely. And if you want to go back, I haven't been having the problems though. So Brian says no. For those having the issue, maybe I'd suggest you're just re-logging into Zoom. You can leave this session and just come back in through the same link. I'll share it here in chat so that you can save it, you can copy it, and then come back in. I think it might be some sort of Zoom issue themselves, which would be the third Zoom issue of the day. But here's the link. You can leave and come back. We'll see if that works. If not, I don't know exactly how else to solve it because I can see it here myself. And
you can see it full screen, right?
Yeah, I can see a full screen right now on the assumption page. So I feel like something funky's going on the Zoom side. They're sending 50% of people a black screen and 50% the content. Thank you.
You've got to write them an angry worded email later on. Right, I'm going to try and get that energy back. Right, okay. So
sorry.
At this point and add 5 minutes to the clock. Right, at this point, right, I'm assuming. Okay, just to get here, I don't know. We've got tons and tons of people on this particular presentation. I don't necessarily know where you're at in the business, but I'm assuming before we jump into this that you have at least a killer brand, which means logos, colors, and font as a minimum. You have your mission, values, and purpose for your brand absolutely nailed down. You've got a Facebook page for your brand. You've got a niche picked out to sell in. You've got a framework targeting planned, at least a framework for who you roughly want to sell to. But if not, don't worry, because this link here will take you to my YouTube channel where I've got loads and loads of free videos going through each individual thing. And so if you scroll down this image on the right, just look for those kind of thumbnails. There's a bunch of really, really good, helpful videos there for free. Okay, so let's jump into number one if you're ready. Okay, so number one of 7, you can count it down. Number 1, research and planning, all right? I love this phrase. It was my old boss used to say this to me all the time. He said, plan the work, then work the plan. And there's that screenshot icon up there, which you're going to see why in a minute. So what currently selling products are most similar to yours out there on the internet? I'm going to show you how to answer these questions, okay? But these are questions that you need to be able to answer and literally be able to write down, or if someone asks you this question, you need to be able to answer it, okay? So what is out there currently in the market, products that are most similar to yours, okay? Who is buying those products right now? What do they like, and as in the customers of those products, what do they currently like and dislike about those products? And what gender are they? How old are they? And where do they live? Okay, so these are questions, fundamental questions that you need to be able to answer about your business. And this is how you do it. Okay, so this is why I'm saying screenshot. So for this top section here, if you're searching on Google, Amazon, AliExpress, Pinterest, eBay, or Walmart, you're going to be able to find products that are similar to yours, at least in the same niche as yours. And you're going to be able to see what's selling, okay? And then if you're looking at the reviews of these sites, especially Amazon, and I love this website, Answer the Public, which is questions that people are asking about certain different phrases and stuff. It's a free service. I absolutely love it. But if you're jumping into Amazon, you're looking at the products that are most similar to the products that you're selling or want to sell. Have a look through those reviews, okay? I love looking at the 2 and 4 and 3 star, 2, 3, 4 star reviews, because often the 1-star reviews are just, you know, people, it's never all 1 star, right? Nothing, the service never is as bad as just 1 out of 5. So these are people that are raving and hating the product. The 5s, you know, there's not a lot to learn about the weaknesses of the product if you're looking at 5 stars. So I tend to focus on the 2, 3, and 4 stars. And I'm scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of reviews. I'm taking notes. I'm looking for themes. I'm looking for stuff that people are asking for, right? They're saying, oh, I love this product, but I wish it had a whatever. Okay, or I love this product, but I wish it was this color or this size or had this function. Okay, that's the gold. Okay, that's the stuff you really want to pay attention to for your particular product that you're selling. Okay, and then if you want to know the kind of gender and age and locations of the people that are currently buying these products that are very similar to you, so your future customers, okay, you can jump into the Facebook Insights tool. If you don't know how to use that, just go onto YouTube and ask that question, because there's loads of walkthrough videos. And looking at your competitors, seeing who's commenting on your competitors' ads, right? And actually looking through those people's profile pictures, okay? So you can look at the profile pictures and you can gauge, what sort of age they are, what sort of location they are, what sort of ethnicity they are. Okay, so you can get a feel for the sort of demographics of the products that are currently selling. And of course, from the reviews and testimonials as well, you can get a feel for that. And often they will have a profile picture attached. Okay, so plan the work, work the plan. We want to know of everything that's selling right now before we jump into the market, what's going on. And these are the questions you need to answer. Hopefully that makes sense, as I said, screenshot. Right, number 2, why you? Okay, so expanding on that question, why should people buy you? Okay, why should people buy your product over other people's product? Okay, this is something that you need to, this is a question that you need to be able to answer, okay, because otherwise you can't tell your customers why they should be buying from you rather than other people, because you can bet they're asking that question in their head. Okay, so here's how you can answer this question. I'm going to break down this question for you, okay? And hopefully some of these you'll have a bit of an aha moment. All right, so the first question is, what makes you different, right? What makes your product different to other products? Okay, what problem does your product solve? Okay, so we're talking about the problems. Remember those problems we saw in the reviews on Amazon. What problem does your product solve? What sets you apart from the rest? Right? Perhaps your product, and again, you could be in the print on demand space, you could be in technology, you could be in software, you could be selling widgets or toys. I don't know what you're selling, but some of these might actually be the reason people are buying from you or why they're going to buy from you. Maybe your product's easier or cheaper or it's higher quality. Maybe your product's personalized or more convenient or exclusive. Perhaps you have a charitable element or a cause that resonates with your customers or a mission. Okay, so if you're looking through these, right, you can begin to, if you did a little tick or cross next to these, if you've noted them down, you can begin to get a feel for why people might be buying from you or why people might buy from you in the future. And it's really important to know the reason people are buying from you, because if you've had, say, 10 people buy from you for a particular reason, then there's 10,000 people out there waiting to buy from you. You just need to tell them the reason, okay, the reason that you're different and why they should buy from you. And ultimately, you therefore need to be able to fill out this paragraph, okay? This is definitely a screenshot time, okay? Because ultimately, when we're talking about why people are buying from you or why they're not buying from you, we're talking unique selling propositions or USP. Okay, and so what I've done is I've taken this paragraph, and this paragraph is something that you should absolutely write out for your business, okay? I know it'll take a little bit of effort. And I know you just want to be counting millions of dollars right now, but trust me, this is a really, really powerful exercise, okay? So screenshot the screen, then we're going to go through it. Right. So in this example, I've taken carp fisherman. Now, for those of you that really don't know anything about fish, carp is a type of fish, okay? It's a bit like a bass or a cod or a tuna. Okay, so in this case, I'm talking to carp fishermen because in this hypothetical, my product is in the carp fisherman niche. Okay, so everything in brackets is what you would be putting it, you'd be replacing with your own stuff. So for carp fishermen who need high quality carp fishing equipment, Crafty Carol's Carp Fishing Store, that's my store in this example, is the world's only dedicated online carp fishing equipment distributor that provides the very best carp fishing equipment delivered straight to your door, unlike the other carp fishing equipment supply companies. Crafty Carol's Carp Fishing Store is the only e-commerce business in North America that caters specifically to these fishermen. What a mouthful. But if you can fill in these blanks for your business, okay, who your business is for, what those people need and why your business offers it, okay, why your business is different, like from the previous slide, what your business is providing and why your business is providing something that other businesses aren't providing. Okay, it's a really, really powerful exercise. I highly recommend you go through this. It will make your sales copy when you're talking about your business, when you're telling people about your business, when you're advertising your business. It will make it so much easier because you're going to become crystal clear on the why behind your business, the what behind your business, what makes your business good, or why you. Right, next up, we've got targeting. So who are you targeting? Okay, so you've got your widget, your technology, your piece of clothing, whatever it is that you're selling. Okay, who are you targeting? Okay, so first up, let's talk cold, warm, or hot prospects. Okay, and you might have heard this before. You might even have heard about this on this seminar today. So we're going to reinforce it if you have, and if this is new to you, then fantastic, because this is going to save you a lot of money on its own. Lots of people think that the adverts that they're going to be running is like a one-size-fits-all. Okay, and they will go straight in with people that haven't heard about their brand, haven't heard their message, don't know anything about them, with, hey, buy from me. Okay, and that is the advertising equivalent of proposing marriage to your customer. Okay, and so it's really important that with your ads and with your targeting, you keep in the back of your mind, is this going out to people that have never heard about me? People who have kind of heard about me in the past, have maybe engaged with one or two of my ads, maybe visited my site, or is this going out to people that have literally bought from me and perhaps bought from me multiple times? Okay, and that's the difference between cold, warm, or hot. And that is the difference, if you want to bring it back to that sort of dating love analogy, it's the difference between first meeting someone, dating, and marriage. And you've got to think in your ads about how you would treat someone who you've just bumped into in the street, i.e. a first meeting, compared to how you would speak to someone who you're married to, and everything in between. All right, and that's the difference there. You've got to bear that in mind with your targeting. Right, next up, in the same vein of there's no one size fits all, sub-niche your category. So let's go back to that carp fishing example. Okay, I'm not going to just target carp fishermen. It's too big a space. There's too many people in there, and I can't really delve into their products because it's too into their problems because it's too broad. All right, and so I've sub-niched it down here. Okay, and this is where the sweet spot is. This is where you're going to get the really, really juicy click costs and really great ROI, because you can really tailor your messaging. So I've got 3 examples here: amateur carp fishermen as opposed to the professionals. Okay, so they'd be buying one kind of equipment. The professionals would be buying another kind of equipment at different price points. And so we would speak to those people differently. Surface carp fishermen. So carp, the fish, it eats food from the surface or from the bottom of the lake. Okay, and there's some carp fishermen that specialize just in surface fishing with floating things. Okay, and so I'd be speaking to them in a certain way. I certainly wouldn't be trying to sell these kind of people any kind of baits or tackle that for the bottom of the lake that sink. Father and son carp fishermen. Okay, so it might be when we're targeting these people that it's less about the fishing and more about the bonding. Okay, and so our ads can speak to that. Okay, if we're targeting these kind of people, we can be talking about how, you know, the magic of spending hours of your time together and chatting about life whilst fishing, whilst out in the great outdoors. You can get a feel for how the messaging for the different sub-niches of my main category and your main category are different. Okay, so if you're looking for some targeting inspiration, okay, and so you're saying, right, I know who I'm kind of targeting, but I don't really know how to target them, which is a fair question. Okay, it's also one of the things I delve into on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to delve into it here as well for you. All right, so there's 3 great angles that you can take when finding the people you want to target. Okay, so I'm literally talking about, you're in your ads platform, you're typing in interests, you're typing in words to try and find the people that you want to put your advert in front of. Okay, so first up, we've got, what events do your audience attend? Now, I love this one. Okay, so an example for carp fishermen, again, could be fishing events. Okay, maybe there's fishing competitions, right? If someone is on Facebook and they have liked a fishing competition, there's a good chance that they are a very, very keen fisherman. Okay, and so if I do my research online on Google and I'm trying to find events around my particular niche, right, there's a good chance that the people that have liked those events, the people that have heard about those events, are really, really good people to target with your ads. Next up, what other brands or products is your audience buying? Okay, so in this case, this is people who are already fans of other fishermen brands, right? Other brands related to fishing. Okay, and so if they're already buying other brands, these are really, really great people to target because they're already spending money on fishing equipment. Okay, or you know, whatever the niche, whatever the space is that you're in, right? They're already spending money in your space. Okay, and so all you're trying to do now is just to get them to spend a little percentage of that money with your products. Okay, so it's not a big jump for them. It's not a big leap. They're already a great person to target. And the third one that I love to do is what celebrities or influencers is your audience currently following. Okay, so it might be that if you're, say, in the makeup space, it may well be that they're following certain celebrities that are renowned for really, really great makeup, or certain influencers that are doing makeup tutorials on YouTube and so on. Okay, and so if you can target the followers of these celebrities and influencers, it's a really, really good chance that they're targeted and they're the right kind of people for you. Okay, so I had to rush through this slide, and there's lots of other targeting options. So I'm just going to draw your attention at this point that on page 90 onwards, for about 5 or 6 pages, I go in detail about targeting, and this is a free book that you can pick up there. So screenshot the screen. I am moving on. Okay, to creative and copy. Right. Now, this is probably the most overlooked area right now, I'd say, with Facebook advertising. Okay, there's a lot of people who are advertising on Facebook right now who do a great job of finding the sort of people, like they've got their targeting really nailed down, really locked in, which is fantastic. But they throw up something that is really rubbish, right? A really unengaging ad that isn't thumb stopping. Okay, so when people are scrolling on their phones through their newsfeed with their thumb, it's not thumb stopping. They keep going, because what you've got to remember is you're competing with cat videos. Okay, now I use cat videos as a sort of catch-all term, but you know, there's really, really engaging stuff on Facebook, and your ad is amongst that stuff. Okay, so what makes your ad stand out in a sea of really, really engaging hand-picked content? Okay, and so I picked up this. I thought this was pretty engaging. I think if I saw that in my Facebook feed, I would certainly stop and wonder what on earth is going on here. Okay, so remember, you're competing with cat videos, so you're creative, right? And the creative is the image or the video, the copy is the words with it. And we're going to go through an actual ad in the very next slide. Okay, so your creative and copy needs to be thumb stopping, engaging, catchy. All right, I recommend using contrasting colors. So Facebook is blue and white. This is red. Okay, red is the opposite of blue. Red and black would be ideal, right, to stand out as much as you possibly can. I recommend branding. Okay, and the bookend approach is actually, particularly on videos, showing off your logo very, very early on, like literally in the first 2 or 3 seconds of your video, and then again at the end. And I'm going to show you that in the next slide with the example I've got. I recommend, and certainly so does Facebook. I was at Facebook. They did a private invite-only seminar in New York last September. We were there, and they really, really did bang on about how important video is. And they also made a point of remembering when you're using video for your adverts, remember that the majority of users on Facebook are watching the videos and they're scrolling through their Facebook with their sound off. And so if your video has any kind of sound, there's a good chance that your audience isn't actually hearing it. And so therefore, definitely use captions, definitely use headlines so that even with the sound off, they get what you're talking about. And remember that the majority of the impressions, the majority of the people viewing stuff on Facebook, they're on their mobile. Okay, and so vertical or square videos work best. We're not talking the rectangle videos like what you might see on YouTube. On Facebook, vertical and square videos work best. They take up more of the screen. Okay, and finally, your ad must pass the blink test, which means, and I'm going to show you very clearly about this on the next slide, it means that in a blink of an eye, you need to know, your customer needs to know, what is your ad about? Okay, and so this is a great one to screenshot. So this was literally in my newsfeed today. It's because actually I've recently bought a pair of Neuro headphones. But they've done a very, very good job with this ad. It uses a lot of elements that are important, and so I thought I would point those out. So first off, here's the branding. Okay, so imagine this is a square video. Their brand is right there, very, very early on in the video. So even if I kept scrolling, I've seen that word Neuro right there. They've got a call to action, learn more. Okay, they've got a shot of what it is they're talking about. It's very, very clear. It passes the blink test. It's very clear that they're talking about headphones. They're stating their authority up here with their multi-award winning technology. It's right there in the second line, right in the center, very, very clear. And then they've got this scarcity element. They've said limited pre-order, and that stands out probably better than anything else on this ad. It's a really, really beautiful ad. Christopher says, I also bought Neuro headphones recently. They're doing a good job of advertising. Here's why. All right. So you can learn from this, and you can learn a little bit about ad structure and what works really, really well. Obviously, this is consistent with their brand, which is a black and white brand that stands out really, really nicely on the Facebook, on the newsfeed, and definitely helps them. Right. Next up, okay, so we're driving traffic. We're going to be driving traffic, okay? Like I said, we've got to get these things nailed down before we start spending money, but eventually we're going to be spending money driving traffic to your landing page, okay? And I love, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising. I really do, because there is nothing sweeter than seeing $1 out and $2 back in, or $2 or $3 or $4, right? It's a money printing machine when you get this right, but the majority of the getting it right part actually isn't the ads themselves, okay? And a really, really important part here, one that Facebook is also paying attention to, is your landing page. Okay, and so if you're in e-commerce, and I'm assuming most of the people on this webinar are, here are the burning questions that every single person who's coming to your website considering buying something from you has in their head, and I'm going to show you how to answer them. Okay, so these are the questions. What does it look like? So whatever it is you're selling, people want to know, what's it look like? How does it work? Is it good enough for me? How big or small is it? Can it be delivered? What does that delivery cost? Can it be returned? What does that return cost? And can I trust this brand? Okay, and so your landing page needs to do a good job of answering all of these questions very, very quickly, so that a customer feels comfortable enough to start giving you their credit card details. And this is how you do it. Boom, I should have probably put that screenshot logo up here, because this is pretty powerful. So
yeah, I literally just screenshotted that.
We answer question number one. What does it look like? We answer that with product images and video. Okay, hopefully fast loading, but this is on your website, right? That's how we show it off. We want to show it off from different angles. We want to show it in use. We want to do as much showing it off as we can, so that people know what it looks like from all the important angles. Okay, so if you were selling clothes, right? If you're selling jeans, you better show those jeans from front on, from back on, from side on. Maybe someone, having a, socializing with their friends, looking happy, wearing your jeans. It's really, really important that they know what those jeans look like. Okay, how does it work? Product demonstration. Okay, so this varies. Like jeans, images of the jeans in use is enough for a product demonstration. If you're selling a toy or a gadget that requires a little bit of demonstration, right, you need to have some kind of demonstration of the toy or whatever it is that you're selling working. Okay, in my carp example, I would need to show someone perhaps, casting with my carp equipment. Right, that's enough fish examples now for one evening, I think. Is it good enough for me? Okay, and so here they're looking at the branding. They're getting a feel for the site. Does this feel like an expensive site? Does this feel like a quality, trusting, nice site, or does this feel like, those $1 thrift stores or something? And here's and you answer this question with your branding, with reviews on the page, and with the quality of the images and videos. So we don't want our product images and videos to be grainy and low quality. We want them to be really, really, really nice. Okay, Apple do a great job of quality images and videos on their site. It screams quality. How big or small is it? Okay, so it depends what you're selling, but certainly for clothes, the size guide is absolutely probably the most important element if you're selling clothes. But there's plenty of other things. If you're selling, say, furniture, people want to know how big it is to see if it will fit through their door or in the room that they're putting it in. So size guides and dimensions answer that. Can it be delivered? You want to be showing off your shipping information. Can it be returned? Your returns information. And can I trust this brand? That's where you want to be showing off reviews, case studies, testimonials, and all that good stuff. So you have 1 second to screenshot whilst I sip my drink. And I'm going to go on to number 6. And I actually choked on my drink. Fantastic. Right, 6. Know thy numbers. Okay, so know thy numbers. So this is super, super important. There's lots and lots and lots of numbers going on in your business. Okay, so I'm going to focus on some of the ones that I consider to be important, but there are so many others, right? We almost... got undone with this with one of our businesses where we scaled it from a standing start. We literally launched, and 3 months later we hit the 1 million revenue mark. That was the acceleration of that scaling. The speed of that scaling took everybody. It caught everybody off guard. It caught me off guard. It caught my customer service off guard. It caught our suppliers off guard. Right from that point, moving forward, we were playing catch up constantly. Okay, and if we'd had a better sight on our numbers, it wouldn't have caught us off guard as much, and we'd have been able to prepare better for it. Okay, so here are some of the numbers that you absolutely need to know. Okay, what are your operation costs? Okay, so we're talking. Oh, it's gone in a different order. Okay. It's fine. Here's the operation cost. So how big is the market that you're targeting? All right. So if you're going after carp fishermen, how many carp fishermen are there? Okay, is there enough that if you're able to sell to 1% of them, 5% of them, that's a lot of money? Okay, that it's worth your time and effort getting into that space. Because if you're targeting, I don't know, people that live in your local town that also race snails, that's probably too small to target. Okay, and if and assuming your market is big enough that if you sold to one or two, or between 1 and 5% of them, that's a lot of money. How much is that market currently spending? Okay, because there's lots of people that enjoy looking out to sea, right? That's a great big market. There's lots of people, but they're not really spending much on that activity, right? They're not really spending any money because staring out to sea to look at the ocean is a free thing. Okay, so you need to know that the market that you're targeting is big enough and that they're actually spending money, right? What are your operation costs? So we're talking overheads, services, salaries, rent, leases, etc. Because when you're figuring out what you're going to charge for your products, you need to make sure that at scale you're covering all of these costs. Okay, and so you can project that forward with a spreadsheet. Like I said, you need to be able to calculate what it is you need to earn. What are your costs of goods sold? So we're talking when you actually sell a product on your site, right? What does that product cost you? What does it cost to ship it to the customer? What have you lost in terms of processing fees, so credit card processing fees, a certain percentage of returns coming back to you, other fees, marketing costs, and so on. Okay, that's your cost of goods sold. You need to know what that is. And therefore, what ROAS, return on ad spend, you need to be profitable. Because once you know all of these numbers up here, all of these costs, you can begin to calculate what you actually need, whether you need to double your money or triple your money or quadruple your money on your ads, so that you're profitable, okay? Because then you can look at just one metric and you know that your business is running well rather than running you into a hole. And as I said, when you're scaling as fast as we did in the example I gave you a minute ago, you don't have time to really check your numbers, because the hour that you've spent calculating your costs, you've just sold another 8 grand's worth of stuff in that hour, and now your maths is wrong because all your numbers have changed. Okay, so it's really important to know what that metric is before. And what's your lifetime value of a customer? If you were on my last presentation for Derek, I talked about lifetime value, and I talked about how you can actually spend more on advertising if you're prepared to wait until your customer buys from you the second or third or fourth time. Okay, and if you're prepared to wait, then in effect, you can afford to spend more money to acquire a customer, because you know a customer is going to buy from you twice. So if your products are $50 and they buy from you twice, you've made $100 from that customer. Okay, you've doubled what you can spend. And so if you're actually already selling, how many of your customers come back? What are they spending on average with you? And that's your lifetime value. And how big is the market that you're targeting, which is kind of a reiteration of the top one. Now, I do absolutely love talking about numbers. There's way more numbers to know. So once again, right, I'm going to remind you, this time it's on chapter 22, knowing your numbers. Okay, super, super important that you know your numbers. Right, screenshot this page and we're on to number 7. 7 of 7. Automation. Okay, now I absolutely love automation. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because when you're an entrepreneur and when you're in charge of your business and you're ultimately the person who's responsible for your business, you have to wear a lot of hats. Okay, you have an HR hat you need to wear, a hiring hat, an operations hat, a manager hat, a ads manager hat, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, you've got more tasks than you have time for. So anything that you don't absolutely essentially have to be doing yourself, you should automate or outsource. Okay, so first off, you want to see if a software can do it. You want that software to do it because that's the cheapest. Software doesn't take holidays or breaks or lunch breaks or get ill or anything like that. If you can't get a software to do it, then you want to be trying to outsource it to someone who costs less per hour than you do. All right. So if you don't absolutely have to do it yourself, then you need to automate it because you want to be focusing on working on your business, not in it. And so when you actually do start advertising, okay, definitely test your advertising strategy first manually. That should be you because you're testing it out, or your ads manager, right? It needs to be a human doing that, making sure that it works, and that your strategy is actually profitable. And then you want to be automating it as soon as possible. Because things like manual or repetitive tasks, like checking how much you've spent on your ads or how much you've made on your ads or pausing ads or scaling ads, it should be done by software, not humans. Software does it much faster with less errors, as I said, 24/7, every single day of the week, right? It's doing it for you so that you can focus on running your business. So naturally, I recommend trustads.io. So when you are running ads, trustads.io actually automates your advertising for you across Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and Snapchat. And it's actually the only software on the planet that allows you to automate your Snapchat advertising. And if you haven't checked out Snapchat ads, I highly recommend you have a look at it because right now we're seeing 10 times cheaper costs on Snapchat as on Facebook. It really, really is an amazing ad platform. So I highly recommend you check that one out. And so I've mentioned it a couple of times. Here is my gift to you. Okay, so this book, Derek showed it off on camera a little bit earlier on. This is a 300-page book on e-commerce. Okay, it is literally my best work. It took me 6 months to write and several $1,000s to produce. And every book actually cost me $7 to print. You can get a free copy with the link that is on the screen right now. All I ask is that you cover the cost of shipping, which is about $6. Okay, and so you get this book, you get everything that I've spoken about today, and a lot more that you can read in your own time. It's got tons and tons of great reviews from amazing people in our industry. I've posted one up here from Depesh Mandali, who's an amazing dude in and out of Facebook all the time. He's a true expert at Facebook ads, and so I was humbled to get really, really great feedback from him. Then, if you actually want more still, then come and hang out with me. Every 2 weeks, I put on a live training. I get an expert in, a bit like what Derek has done for this for this seminar. I get a really, really good expert. We've had guys. I mean, here's an actual Snapchat person. This guy does $1 million a day. This guy did 30 million in his first year. The list goes on. Really, really true founders, brand owners, and experts. We do this every 2 weeks, and from this link here for a very small in comparison one-time fee, you get access to every single live training that we've done in the past. So these are private things. You won't find them on my YouTube, and you get a VIP invite to every single thing we do in the future. So that's that link. And so finally, to wrap up, here's the resources that were mentioned in the training. And if you want my slides, you can go here, smartedseo.com/slides, and you can download the slide deck that we've just been going through. And then hopefully, along with the recording that Derek should give you access to, you'll have everything you need to succeed. And if you want to get hold of me, you want to ask any questions or whatever, this is my email address. I am on the other end of this email address, not a team member. I love replying to emails. I dare you. Send me an email, and I'd love to help you out.
Awesome. Martin, knowledge bombs, so many of them. And I think that, honestly, I wish this was the opening keynote and replace myself, because I think that's exactly what people needed to hear about kind of matching up those questions that you had, like, you know, especially about building trust with the audience. A lot of people have come to me before this event and many other times just kind of like, why aren't the sales coming in? And it's like, well, you didn't answer those 7 questions yet. So now we know the homework to do. Figure out the answers to those 7 questions and how you're going to improve the quality and presentation of your brand, as well as that unique selling proposition. And that's really the starting point to having a successful store. And we've got all of the links, guys. So what I've done for everyone here, if you're just joining us or maybe haven't seen yet, I have been taking notes on all of these presentations and putting them into this Google Doc, which I see at least like 26 people are in right now. So I'm updating this as we go in real time. So if you go scroll all the way to the end, you'll see Martin's talk and all of the links. I'll make sure that all of the links are updated in here so that you can use this to get a hold of him or any other speaker. And yeah, this will serve as your kind of recap guidebook through this. And of course, the first couple of pages are my more detailed notes from my own session where I talked about way too many tools in way too short of a time. So hopefully you can go through and think about how to use and apply all of those. Martin, you brought the energy, you brought the value. Thank you so much for joining us again. I love having you. I look forward to having you back on again very soon here.
Absolutely. Love being here. Love hanging out with your crowd. Love being in a room full of people that want to learn, because those are the people that are going to be successful. So best of luck to every single person on this call with your businesses and in life in general. I really hope that we get to hang out at some point again soon.
Yeah, perhaps at a mastermind at the end of September.
Maybe all will be revealed.
Maybe we'll drop a link to that perhaps, or if you want to share that in chat, feel free to go ahead. Yeah. If anyone wants to join us in Thailand, I think that'll be a lot of fun. But anyways.
All good. See you later, guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and that, Lisa, that this ecomtech.link/stack advice, this is the link for, it should redirect directly to the doc. Let me make sure it's working. Yep, that redirects directly to the doc, and then you can save the doc there. And thank you again, Martin. Really quick, before we hop into Roddy's presentation, which I talked about Spently in my opening keynote, and it really is just a de facto tool. It's also free for new stores, because if you're doing under 50 orders a month, it will be free for you. So I think this is going to be a no-brainer tool, and you're going to see why in just a minute. But I really want to give just a second, because we've been in such a rush thus far, to give a shout out to a couple of our other sponsors here. And Jay, we've got Jay from BoldCommerce standing on the line. He's going to talk about Bold Upsells, and Bold is our main sponsor, and we've given him a couple of shout outs already. Right now, I want to talk about out of the Sandbox. Out of the Sandbox were kind enough to help promote this event for us for practically no other reason than they care about the community. So here is their two lines on Out of the Sandbox. Since 2011, Out of the Sandbox has been creating feature-rich, flexible, and beautiful Shopify themes built for speed and conversions. Their premium turbo theme, which is my favorite, by the way, is available only at outofthesandbox.com and is the perfect choice for small businesses looking to make a big impact. Again, I said it before, if you are serious about growing and scaling your store, you want to start with a strong theme. And Out of the Sandbox has the best themes. They are the most scalable. They are being optimized on a regular basis. So you have basically a team making sure that your theme is working all the time around the clock. And it's totally worth the $180 to $320 investment to do that. Now, again, if it is more of a pet project or something like that, sure, just go with the free theme, worry about upgrading to a more robust one later. Here's the link really quick to Out of the Sandbox. And I do hope you guys consider check them out if you are pre-launch or in product development. All right, that's enough about Out of the Sandbox. I've got one more other partner that I'm super passionate about. This year, December 11th and 12th, I will be hosting the e-commerce track at Growth Marketing Conference. I've been to a Growth Marketing Conference for 4 years, and every year I learn something new from these amazing speakers. They have helped me personally develop the growth mindset, which is kind of a mix of the lean startup, build, measure, learn methodology, but really more about testing and building tests into your daily execution and weekly sprint cycles. And so I really love what they have to offer. The content is top notch. They bring in SaaS founders and speakers. And again, we'll have our own track on e-commerce so that it can be extremely specific to us. You can check them out at growthmarketingconference.com. I have a link where you can get 20% off if you use this link, which is somewhere that I'm struggling to find. Hold on one second. It is right here. And you use the code Ecom Tech 20, you'll get 20% off. I don't expect you to make a decision on joining this conference right away, but I want you to look at the lineup and consider joining the mailing list so that you can get a feel for whether Growth Marketing Conference will be worth it to you. It's a big investment. The ticket is a little bit more expensive than some of the other events because it is tier one, I would say, a tier one event. As opposed to like smaller 100-person events, there's going to be over 1,000 people, and they come from places like Google and Pinterest and other major like companies kind of all come together for this. And it is in San Francisco, which is basically the most expensive place to get a hotel room in the world. So think about that event. And there will be some virtual events by Growth Marketing Conference that we'll be partnering with them later.